Now, I have not done a video in quite a while, but I really wanted to hit on college football today. I said I would do some gaming. College football is gaming, so it works. It's not the kind of gaming you're thinking of, but holy smokes. I'm not going to make this a super long video, but boy, was the top 25 all shaken up. Tennessee lost to Georgia. Clemson, who was getting arguments about being a top 5 team, they got beat by Notre Dame. Quote unquote, a lot of those people were arguing that Clemson's better than Ohio State because Ohio State's struggling against Notre Dame. Guess what? Notre Dame beat Clemson. So there goes their argument. Alabama lost to LSU. Michigan steamrolled Rutgers. Trying to think. TCU won. Not great, but convincingly. And there was about 10 teams in the top 25 that just could not win. Although the rest of them aren't near as important as the top 5, top 10. Oregon won. But anyway, the ratings that I can see being the official ratings, in my opinion, they're going to make it. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2. I could see them flipping Tennessee with Georgia, putting them at 3. Michigan 4 and TCU 5. That's what I think the top 5 is going to be. What I think the top 5 should be, because I think Ohio State and Michigan have been the most convincing out of all the teams this year. And Ohio State did struggle, but it's also in weather that was ridiculously bad. And yes, I'm making excuses. But Ohio State won, so I don't need an excuse. But you put Georgia, Tennessee, Clemson, all those teams in that same kind of weather against anybody, they would have all struggled. It doesn't matter who it was. No, it was rainy, it was windy, and that's the kind of game that you want to stay away from. Because you're just, any kind of talent is at the door. It's just bad play. I've played in those kind of weather, and it's hard to catch a ball. It's hard to keep your footing because there's just no footing. And you're in Chicago, which is already windy anyway. There's a reason why it's called the Windy City. But yeah, 30 miles per hour and rainy and wet and on a rubber pigskin, yeah, that's just calling for drop balls, and your stick-em gloves do nothing in that kind of weather. So, and I guarantee you they probably was changing them out almost every drive, if not sooner, if not more. And you just can't hold on to a ball when it's that wet and that muddy and that windy. So you put anybody in that same situation, I think they're all going to struggle. I don't care who you are. And no, I'm not making an excuse. Yeah, I'm making an excuse for Ohio State. But I would say everybody would struggle in that kind of situation. In fact, half of them did struggle in better situations. What I think the rating should be is Ohio State 1, Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4, and then I want to see Tennessee after that, because Tennessee still has credit for their win against Alabama, although Alabama's looking a lot worse since they have 2 losses now, and they lost to an unrated LSU team. So that's kind of taken credit away from Tennessee because of that loss there. You can't make an exception for that. And Clemson can't have a good argument because Notre Dame is unranked. So that knocks both of them way out of the race for the college football playoffs and keeping them out of the top 5 for sure. I think those are the clear top 5, and everybody else outside of that, they're still as important rankings and are still going for bowl games. But the top 5 is the only ones that have a chance at the CFP playoffs. And I think Tennessee is the team that should be looking out right now, because they lost some credit with Alabama because of Alabama's loss to LSU today, and they have the credit for being Alabama, but they also have credit for playing decent against a Georgia team that's still undefeated. But I think they're on the, personally, I'd have them on the outside looking in, but I think it's going to be, the way I think they're going to do the ratings is going to be, and I've already said this, and I'm going to say it one more time, I think it's going to be Georgia number 1, Ohio State 2. Honestly, I can see them putting Tennessee at 3, Michigan at 4, and TCU at 5. There's no way that TCU leapfrogs Michigan. In my opinion, that's why I think the top 5 is going to be. Give me your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. And boy, was it a crazy day of football. Give me your comments. Tell me what you think. And I'll catch you on the next one. Be blessed.